My name is Michaela Lintrup. I go by the in-game name Mimi. I'm the IGL of G2 Gozen, 27 years old, from Denmark.
Tell us about your beginning in the world of video game. What inspired you to become a professional gamer?
So it was never my intention to become a pro. I just always enjoyed gaming since I was a kid. Me and my brother always went on like internet cafes and played a bunch of random games like Warcraft 3 or RuneScape or Frozen Throne or Age of Empires, whatever there was, we would play. And I got introduced to Counter-Strike back when I was 12 years old. And that's where like the competitive gene in me really sparked. And I just really enjoyed the game and figured out that there was like teams in it and LAN events. And then eventually I just tried that path. And I guess it just led me to where I am today.
Amazing. A lot of people start with Counter-Strike.
Yeah, they do, especially in Valorant.
Yeah. Okay, nice. What was your first competitive game, and how did you to train to reach a professional level?
So my first competitive game was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I did play a lot of Counter-Strike Source, but it was never on a competitive level. And I think that I started on a full Danish team back when I was like 15 or 16, 15, 14, 15 years old or something like this. And then we attended Copenhagen Games in 2013, I think it was. And we lost everything. We were not doing very well, but individually I had pretty good stats compared to us barely playing the tournament. Like I think we had like 3 games or something. And I then got an offer from an international team. They saw that there might be some potential there. And then I got invited to play the French qualifier at ESWC in 2014, maybe it was. I was 16 years old, and it kind of just snowballed from there. Then I played there a little bit, and I got offered to play on a better team. And then I played there a little bit, and then I got to play on the best team. So, kind of how it went.
Oh, you have started so
Young, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing because in the past Counter-Strike you have a lot of people to play, and I hope it's hard to play in a high level or not.
I mean, I guess I think it's a hard question because it really depends on how good you are, right? And also it requires a little bit of luck. And I think I just had the luck on my side many times. Being on the right role or having the right teammates that just also really push me in the right direction. So obviously it's not all my doing, and there's been a lot of older IGLs that has really guided me and made me the player I am today.
Oh, amazing. And at this time, you playing with all women, or it's mixed, or?
It has always been all female.
Okay. Are there any player or personality in the esport that you admire?
I think I just admire anyone who puts in a lot of hard work. I think especially in Valorant, it requires a lot more hours because there's so many new things that you constantly have to be aware of and think about and build upon. Not that you don't work hard in, for example, Counter-Strike, but it is the same game almost today as it was 10 years ago. So it's a lot harder to actually evolve your gameplay than it is in Valorant. So I don't have anyone specifically as a person, but I think like Nats was always someone I looked up to in the beginning because I started on Sentinel, and well, he was a Cypher main, and it kind of inspired me a lot to be a better Cypher and like trying to get inspired from his gameplay, really.
Okay, nice. And when you started to Valorant competitive, you started Sentinel?
Yes.
Oh my god, the evolution is amazing. Now we got started the interview of your career. Can you tell us about your experience within G2 and any valuable lesson or skill you have learned since you started until now?
So, I mean, G2 has obviously been it's been the best organization I've ever played for in terms of like professionalism, but also like the org itself is taking really good care of their players. And I think one thing that I definitely have learned is that it can be a very good thing to say your opinion. I think it's very important in a team environment to have discussions, not necessarily arguments, but having discussions about how you see things and talk about things. Honestly, has also been a very big part of it. I have been very shy growing up, so it's not before in my 20s that I've actually learned to like really be honest and talk about my feelings and how I think things are, because I think my opinion is just as valuable as anyone else on the team. So that is one thing that I definitely have learned.
Okay, it's good. On September 27, 2021, you burst onto GCN with the team called the Originals, where you finished in the 3-4 place. What can you tell us about this first experience?
So I think this was maybe our first GC tournament, and we almost just started playing Valorant back then. Like we only had few weeks or months to actually switch from Counter-Strike. And obviously when you're a Counter-Strike player, you have so many Counter-Strike habits that you have to turn into Valorant habits. So this is also with like the way you're thinking in game and the way you're aiming and the way you're moving. So I think we were just not on the level yet. Obviously we could aim, but there's so much more to Valorant than just aiming, and the other teams were just ahead of us at this point. But I think really quickly we turned it around.
Okay. When you playing CS and when you come Valorant, it's so much different, or it's more simple to play in Valorant when you come to CS?
I think it's hard to say. Aiming is obviously just maybe it seems easier in Valorant, but also not really, because you have a lot of utility that you have to destroy, and you have a race satcheling while a jet is off drafting. It's not like you cannot simply just have your crosshair in one placement all the time. But it's two very different games, and some people will maybe think that one game is easier than the other in some aspect. I remember when I played a bit of Counter-Strike like a year ago, the game felt really easy to me. So I don't know. I think it's just it varies from person to person.
Okay, during the next split, you joined G2, which
Yeah.
will become G2 Gozen, with the same team at the first split. How did you join G2 in the scene that was just starting?
So basically, we were already G2. The originals was just a cover up name for, because that is the brand of Adidas Originals. So basically, we were already a part of G2. We just weren't officially a part of it yet because we didn't go and have our media day yet. When we did lose the tournament prior, like the tournament we just talked about, we were on G2 bootcamp, and we were filming all the like we're joining G2. So basically, we were a part of G2, but we just weren't official. So this was just finally having the G2 name put on us.
When you're playing for G2, you have more pressure because it's G2, or what did you think?
No, I don't think so. I think like obviously G2 is such a huge org in the world of esports, but I don't know. Now I have also played for G2 for like 3 years. It's not really any pressure for me. I think it's cool. I think it's dope that you can like flex that you have G2 in your name.
Yeah, you can actually. Okay, in split 3, you replaced Hanja with Sile, and that when G2 domination really began. You only lost one map during the entire competition and won the final, becoming champion of Europe. How do you feel at this moment?
I mean, I remember when we got Sile, we had very, very short practice time. Like, I think we had 2 or 3 days to prepare with her. So we knew that the rest of our players, like, we really had to step up if we wanted to make it work, because we didn't have the practice time to make Sile comfortable on the team. So we really gave it all, every single one of us. And I think that is also why it felt so good to win, because we knew that it was really like hard work from everyone, and it's just really what we wanted. We were used to winning in Counter-Strike, so coming to Valorant not winning, it was like a slap in the face, you know? Like, you need to work harder if you want to be on top here. And yeah, it was just a very unique feeling, the first win. And I was happy that it was with Sile as well, because she's Danish and I'm Danish, so it felt good. It felt really nice.
Danish GIF.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2022, you made another roster change by replacing Siley with Glens, despite the fact that you become European champions. What was the reasoning behind this change, and how it go for the team?
So basically, Sile was not like signed with G2. She was a substitute. So she was just like a temporary player, and we knew that we wanted someone else, regardless of Silly being such a nice and great player. It was just not the right fit for us yet. And Glance had just been benched or kicked from guild, I think. And for us, it was a no-brainer not to try her. So we tried her, and the only reason why we were debating whether we should not or should try her was because we heard rumors that her communication was not good, and that's basically why she got benched. But when we played with her, her communication was really, really good, and she was just like yap, talking so much. So we were very confused why that was the reason she even got benched from guild back then. And yeah, she was such a hard worker already from the start, so we knew that Glance would fit very well on the team.
Yeah, Glancy, I love so much these players.
Yeah.
Okay, how did the roster change go with the arrival of Mari and departure of Zayt?
So basically, Sass didn't really have the passion for Valorant as she did for Counter-Strike. I think that was ultimately why she left the game. Like, Sass has always been such a great player in FPS, but Counter-Strike was always her heart, and we obviously respected that. It was sad. Like, we've been teammates with her for so long time, but it's more important to be happy than to please everybody else. And it was also clear that she didn't have the passion. Like, she wouldn't put in the hours like she would in Counter-Strike. So it just felt like this was the right choice, both for her and also for the team. And Mary was hungry to compete, and she knew that she would be like a little mini Sass. So it would be great, actually. Like, it was a great change for the team to have like fresh blood. And yeah, basically that's it.
Okay, good. November 15, 2022, you made your debut on stage with G2 for the Valorant champion. How did you approach this moment, and how did you feel arriving in the final?
The whole event was just very exciting. Obviously, like, getting to play the first Valorant champions, it's just such a cool experience, and I was playing with my best friends, so it was just like we were just good vibes. And I don't think we never came to the competition with the mindset like, oh, we're gonna win it, we're gonna smash them all. And we never came with the mindset that we're gonna lose. Like, we're just here to take it one by one, like one match at a time. And obviously, we really wanted to play Cloud9 White back then because they were like super hyped, you know, the undefeated team of any. And I remember we had the chance the first day, and it was just such an exciting match, and it felt very good to win that match. But I think we just had a pretty chill mindset, and we just were vibing, really.
Okay, perfect. During the Champions Finals against Shopify Rebellion, you were down 2-0 in BO5 before making a comeback and winning the match 3-2. How did you experience this moment, being the key to the comeback to finally achieve this victory?
I mean, I don't think we ever felt like we were really down. After like going into the third game, both Carcass and Giuliano made some great speeches and really like lifted the, I wouldn't say it was negativity, but like a bit of, you know, like bad aura around us maybe. But whenever we went into I think it was our map pick, that Ascent, that really turned things around, and we like completely destroyed them. And after destroying them, we really knew like, okay, we're back, you know, like that's all we needed. Just a good start to Ascent and completely destruction, and there's nothing they could do after that. When they lost Ascent, I already knew we won the final.
When you arrived on the map, on the last map, how did you feel at this moment? Because it's 2-2, the comeback is coming. You take more pressure or nothing?
Honestly, remembering like Breeze, it was Breeze, and Breeze has always been such a good map of ours. I think what was a bit troll, so to say, was probably the map pick order that we did, because Breeze was by far always a good map of ours. And having that as the last map, maybe that's also like, you know, like, okay, it's Breeze, we got this, we know what we have to do. So there was not a lot of pressure. We really came into the last map very confident. I think Shopify was the one being the most pressured, like losing something that was so close to them, and you know, the last map, knowing that is also a very good map of ours. I think that the pressure was a lot on their shoulders.
Okay, yeah, I hope too. Okay, what was your feeling when you achieved the feat of becoming the first world champion of the GC scene in front of your audience? Because you have a lot of fun G2, sorry.
Yeah, it was really, really cool because the whole crowd was just cheering for us, and we could just hear G2 Gozen all the time. So it was a very, very cool experience. Like, I don't even think that it really settled in for me after like the next year, because it just, I don't know, I was just very happy, but it's just hard to understand that you just did something that cool. So yeah, I was just like, what the fuck just happened? You know?
Yeah, it's amazing you win, and you have a lot of fun in front of you. It's so amazing. I hope too. In 2024, when Split One returned, you experienced a roster change with the departure of Giuliano and the arrival of Roxy. How did you experience this change, despite the fact that you won the champions?
So I think this is kind of the same story of Sass. I think Julia just didn't really feel that Valorant was right for her anymore. And I think this was also one of the times where ESL had talked about like making the Impact League. I'm not sure if it came out yet or if it was something that happened at that very time. But I also do believe that she was missing Sign Up a little bit. They had been teammates for like, I don't know, 25 years or something. So I think that she just achieved what she really wanted to achieve in Valorant, and then wanted to go back to what really made her the happiest, which was Counter-Strike. So we obviously had to adjust a lot because she was the IGL, and we chose to have Petra IGLing. And then I think Roxy was a no-brainer. Like, Roxy has always been performing a lot on Guild, and she's been like such a solid player in every team. So we knew straight away that we really wanted to play with her, and we managed to get her. So that was really nice.
Yeah, Roxy was so funny too.
Yeah, she's such a funny person, and she's such a goofy troll. Like, she's a really, really good teammate to have.
When I see G2 recruitment, Roxy, and I see Roxy and Petra in my head, I say, what the fuck, this process is so funny actually.
Yeah.
Okay, during the second split, you experienced another roster change with the departure of Mary and the arrival of Sarah. How did you manage to win both split 1 and split 2 despite this changement?
Yeah, I mean, losing Mary was, of course, a really big hit on G2. Like, she made Gozen a very strong team, and it was very, very sad to have her leave. But obviously, again, people's mental health and happiness is just more important than playing on a team. Sarah is obviously such a lovely girl, and she is now such a good player, and I'm very happy that we have had the experience to play with her. But obviously, Mary was literally like the goat of GC, so there's not anyone who could truly fill her shoes, and we had to adjust a lot to be able to make it work on the team. But somehow we won split 2, and I think we won it with the power of friendship more than anything. We had a really good boot camp that time, and I think also Sarah was playing a really, really strong tournament, which was really helping us. But yeah, we were playing as a team more than anything, and we knew that that's what we had to do to win. So that's how we did it.
Yeah, and when you see Mary come back, are you happy or what?
Yeah, of course. I think it would be such a shame if she just decided not to compete again. She's such a talented girl. Like, she's only 18 years old. But of course she cannot be on G2. We have our roster. But I'm happy she found a place that both fit her and also like where she's from. Like, she's still playing close to home, so I think that's really cool for her, and I hope that they're gonna succeed.
Okay.
Not more than G2, but
yeah, that's normal. Okay. During the split 3, you had your worst result with G2 by finishing in 4th place in your group and starting in the loser bracket, which allowed you finish in top 4. Why do you think you're failing split 3 for the second years in a row?
I just think that our roster wasn't really like strong enough compared to the other teams that were there. Like, I think EMEA is known for being a very strong region, and there's a lot of competition and not just one good team. So if you're not hitting a good day, every player, you will be beat. And that is just basically what happened. Like, there were other teams that were just better than us, and we knew also that, well, I think we just had to make it top 6 to qualify for champs, and that was our goal. So when we made it to top 6, we we were just very happy, and we knew that after that, for us to make champions work, we really had to change some things.
Okay, I know. Okay, arriving at the champions, you finished in the top 3. Can you tell us about this experience and this result you accepted?
Yeah. So basically, obviously, going into any tournament, you always want to win. Like, that is your goal. Your goal is not to lose, obviously. But we knew that the state of Gozen was not at its best. And that's also why we completely changed everything. We changed 2 roles, we changed IGL, and we just had to make something to try and be different for champions. And I think that's also what we did. Like, I think we exceeded our own expectations and we really made it work as good as possible. I am sure that we could have made it to the final. We were close, and I take all the blame on me because I had such a terrible game on Sunset versus Shopify, and if I just played to my own standards or even above that, I am sure we would have made it. But you know, sometimes shit happens. But I'm happy that we made it top 3 regardless. I'm sure that nobody even expected that, taking into account that we made it to top 4 in EMEA. So I'm proud of all the work that everyone put into it, and we had to grind a lot to make it work.
Okay, but the 3 is actually very good. In 2024, you will experience an almost complete change in the roster with only you and Petra. Why did you decide to continue with Petra?
I mean, Petra is one of the most established Oh my god. Petra is one of the most established players that any FPS game has seen. Like, she has so much experience both from Counter-Strike and from Valorant. She's a very flexible player. You can put her on many different roles and do a lot of different things. She's a good communicator. She's a good listener. She's like just a really good team player, and I don't think anyone here can replace her. So I don't know why she shouldn't be on the lineup in 2024. She also performs super well at Champions, being on Duelist. So yeah, she's always been putting up insane numbers, doing crazy plays and crazy clutches. So there's no reason to replace her at all.
With the new roster, G2 dominate again split 1 and 2, despite the departure of 10-piece and the arrival of leader between the 2 split. Can you tell us about this success and how you manage this change?
Yeah, so basically the goal for this new roster was always like getting a bunch of talents and making it into a team. So it took us a few weeks to actually like have some proper team play, because it's always a mix of like Vanya coming from BBL, which is like Turkish play style. It's very different from a regular like European team. Amy coming from Ascend, which she has also been playing for the last, I don't even know how long. Like, she's very settled in that kind of competitive play. And then there is Rescue, which has barely any competitive experience. So there's a lot of factors that we had to like figure out how to make it into like one union and make it work that way. And we have been focusing very hard on that. I especially have been maybe a bit hard sometimes, like making sure like to ask the questions and say the things that people don't want to say. I just want to always make sure that our team is as good as possible, but obviously I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but I think it's always important to have difficult conversations or say some things that are not always so nice to hear. And that is also one thing that I have really been encouraging coaches to do, so I don't always have to be the poop in the team, because I am also a player and I want to have a good relationship with my players. And yeah, so that is just a general thing that we've been focusing on.
Yeah, we can see all on your video vlog G2 the group. It's so funny, happy, and well, I think for me when you're playing to Valorant at top level, it's more important you have this group funny and happy.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. How was your experience during the Red Bull instant lock, where you managed to achieve more victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is no secret that we might be a bit of a slow starter to tournaments, but then we end on top. It's the same thing that happened at Red Bull Instalock. Like, we lost the first game and got straight into lower bracket, but then fought our way back. And obviously, it was a different kind of tournament. Everyone but, I would say, anyone but Amy and Edda changed their roles because we had to play 3 duelists, right? And I kind of played Smoker the first time competitive, and Petra and Vanya also played Duelist. Petra has been playing Duelist, but there was just a lot of chaos, and I think we are just we're that kind of team that is really good at controlling chaos, and that is basically what just made us win the tournament.
P3 will soon begin. How did you view the split, and do you believe that G2 has chance of winning all 3 split to achieve their history?
That is the goal, and of course we believe that it can happen. But we are also almost secured a spot for champions, so it will be on everyone else's shoulders to actually fight. Not that we're gonna relax or anything, but definitely there is gonna be about zero pressure on our shoulders, because we have to really, really play bad if we are not making it to champions. And that is always the goal of split 3, champions. Like, that is full eyes on champions, and how are we making champions? So are we gonna fight for the first place? Absolutely. There's gonna be no way we're gonna lose this. But it's gonna be hard work, and I know that because everybody else is gonna put in that extra work for this tournament.
Okay, I hope you qualify to champions, and I hope you win split 3, because you can make the history. The last split, you 2 years lost the last split. I hope it's time to change.
Yes, me too.
I just wanted maybe to add a question. It's when you lost odd 10, you know?
Oh, odd one out, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's you just lost one time and after all win. If do you want to talk for that, or you don't?
Yeah, I mean, it was just I think again it was just a slow start to the tournament. We were having really bad communication that day, and we were not really, like, we were playing very solo instead of as a team, so it just really proved us that if we're not putting in 100%, is basically like people can win against us, you know? So it was just a little slap in the face again to wake us up that there's no chilling. Like, this is a serious business, and just what it was.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're gonna end as your interview. You are 5 question, 6 question, and after it's finished. Okay.
Okay.
What advice would you give to young women who are hesitant to get into esport but who dream of it?
Yeah, I mean, if you can dream it, you can do it, right? But it's really important to be passionate about it. It requires a lot of work, and you need to give up a lot of your IRL life to actually make it in esports. You cannot really, chill at school, hang out with your friends every day, and also be at the top of esport. So it's really important to find a way that works for you and makes your mindset stable, and you don't go insane. And of course, stay humble, work hard, figure out what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, and then work on those things.
Okay, it was a great message. Okay, what message would you like to convey to all the G2 and other fans who support you every step of the way?
Well, I love them very much. Without the fans, there's no real team, so they're just as big part of the success as anyone else, and I hope that it will continue this way. I would hate to lose anyone along the way, and just a big thanks to everyone for always being there.
Yeah, a lot of people fan of G2 Gozen. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
You are one of the most followed women in the GT. How did you deal with the notoriety, and does it add additional pressure to you or not?
I mean, this only really happened after winning Game Changers in 2022. I don't really think about it much, honestly. I think what is just most important is to, keep performing and keep working hard, because in no time someone else will work harder than you, and they will start winning then. And it's not about the fame. It's it's about the passion. And that is what I have a lot of. I have a lot of passion for competition and Valorant. And I think that is just why it works out for me.
If you have to recommend one bundle and jersey to buy, which one would it be?
I think the G2 bundle is definitely the best on the market. And then the 2024 G2 jersey with the name Mimi on the back.
Yeah, Mimi Goat, amazing. Okay, what would you like to see in the future on the project?
I think speaking for EMEA, it would be super cool to have some LAN events, mainly because it is very doable for Europe. I do understand that the cost to do it is probably a big one, and that is why it's not that simple. But I think that would be really, really cool, so players can get LAN experience, and with LAN experience comes a lot of like experience as a player. So hopefully that will be one of the next steps.
At this stage of your career, what motivates you to the most to continue to excel, and what more do you hope to bring to esports in the years to come?
So I mean, what motivates me is basically that we're not done. We have not won 3 game changers in a row. Still wanna win another championship. I wanna qualify to VCL. Like there's still so much I want to do. And yeah, it's gonna take time and it's gonna take hard work. And having those goals is just what keeps me focused and makes me motivated. And yeah, like my goal is that we are gonna be the first female team to qualify for VCL, which is tier 2. So that will be super cool.
Yeah, you can. I hope you can do it.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. To finish, I leave you with a final word. What message would you like to share to the end of this interview?
Thank you so much for supporting everybody. Remember to like and subscribe.